Second in the nation for having the most puppy mills.
And many of those breeders go unregulated, meaning that you buy a puppy at your own risk. But maybe not for long. Consumer Watch's Amanda Taylor shows us why.
I had grown up with Yorkies when I was little, and they weren't mine. They were Mom and Dad's, and I wanted my own.
Tammy Fairchild wanted Ramsey more than anything. She bought him from a place in Cordell, but as soon as she got him home, little Ramsey started throwing up.
I was scared to death. I had done everything I had been told to do.
She took him to the vet several times. Their records show they couldn't pinpoint why Ramsey was so sick, but they gave him medicine to help with his stomach. But 6 days after he came home with Tammy,
he had gone hypoglycemic, and his temperature had dropped so low that they couldn't get his temperature back up.
To watch a little thing like that bring so much joy in 1 minute, and then the very next minute bring so much sadness, breaks my heart.
That night, the family had Ramsey put to sleep.
This is ads that they have posted.
Tammy's now questioning the place she bought Ramsey from, Hurleman Kennels out of Cordell.
What do you think of their facility?
We weren't allowed to see their facility. They met us at a Shell station.
And while she says she was handed the puppy without any written health records, the emergency vet Tammy took her dog to tells us there's no indication the dog was sick from the kennels. But another person, Stephanie Carvino, has no doubt Hurleman Kennels is to blame for what her dog has been through. She lives in New York and bought Bambi from a pet store there. But after her Chihuahua's trachea collapsed, its knees went bow-legged, and started having bloody stool, she traced the dog back to Hurleman Kennels.
It's horrible. And, from the day I got him, I fell in love with him. He was everything to me. And, I think I knew at that point from the day I got him that, I needed to do something to help him.
We drove to Hurleman Kennels to see what conditions the dogs were in. And while no one was there, the dogs were in plain sight. We found kennel after kennel of puppies, at least 5 different outbuildings housing dozens of dogs. And as far as we could see, their cages and water looked clean. We later got a hold of the owner, Dwayne Hurleman, who says they've been in business 35 years.
Stand behind our puppies. We have excellent quality, and we have spent a lot of money on breeding stock.
He also says the litter mates of Ramsey have been placed in homes without any problems. And because he sells to pet stores, he is licensed through the U.S. Department of Agriculture, meaning his kennels are inspected yearly. But one legislator says even more needs to be required.
We found out that we're second in the nation to having puppy mills in our state. And it's just indiscriminate breeding with no regulations.
Representative Lee Denny, who's also a veterinarian by trade, drafted a bill called the Oklahoma Pet Quality Assurance and Protection Act. Basically, if you sell 25 or more dogs or cats each year, you would have to get a license. You're not eligible if you've been convicted of certain crimes like animal cruelty. The facility would be inspected by the state, and any animal sold would have to be at least 8 weeks old, have health records attached, and a microchip implanted or tattooed for ID purposes. Any violations could mean a fine up to $2,500.
We want to protect our consumers that are receiving these puppies.
Whatever that can be done needs to be done.
And the bill will be introduced in the House next month. Now, if it's something you're in support of, you can contact your state representative and state senator. To read it in its entirety and to read tips on buying a dog, you can go to my blog at news9.com. We're here to keep an eye out for you. Thank you, Amanda.